The thing about nutrients and resources is, when you burn things, you atomize their compounds, basically turn it into one congruent mulch. It gets atomized and sent up into the air, the atmosphere, becomes part of the air that we breathe. The humidity collects and condenses around that, and it brings it back down to Earth, in other places, and especially the oceans, but mostly upon land where it is most directed, where it is most guided. But you have to understand that it's not something that you should willingly participate and partake in. Use compost whenever possible, at all possible. Better words, use compost always. Don't exhaust the resources of your land, guys. Your children need those nutrients and those resources in order to grow. Grow healthily. Your supermarket foods, your supermarket greens, those aren't healthy. Those are very artificial nutrients. Fertilizers. There's no nutrients in those. They're not missing what they need. They're empty, they're barren. Guys, what y'all need is more access to healthy foods, proper diets, and eating patterns. None of you are participating in that. And a lot of you are ignoring the ecology and the situations around you. You're clipping off all of the nutrients and resources that your branches, trees, and grasses give. You're sending it out to the landfills, to one singular spot to be collected, and not even turned back into trees. It's going to be a long time before they allow trees to grow out there, baby. A few years at least. Just a few months is too long. Nature needs those resources now. It's the reason why I was getting the forest, breaking down those woods and the branches like that, to help return nutrients and resources back on the ground, which you guys weren't doing. None of our parents were doing. Our parents. But you act like little children. You are little children. You're my children. My little children. You gotta start treating your surroundings better. You start treating the earth better. Baby dear, son. Yeah, you guys act like we don't even exist. And I've been ignored out here for generations. Same feelings with the Mother Earth. And just me personally, I've been kind of ignored out here with wild dreams and wishes left to vanish. Yours as well, because you're not taking care of your sons, you're not taking care of your families. Sons can't talk to you because you freak that your presence just freaks them out because they're too traumatized to be around you. A lot of children understand where I'm coming from. Parents are too controlling. Just feeling like you're too small around them. You treat us small around you, like you don't even matter, like your opinion or voice doesn't matter. But it does. Things you know, what's going on in our generation. You ask children what they want. Responsibility at all times. Always give them options to have. Let's just give it food. Start. Yeah. Just to wake up. Just those words are just to wake up call the world. So they are. But guys, try to better the future. This is what. wasn't asking anything in return. I never did. I just wanted to be taken care of. That's all. That's not too much to ask. Coronavirus. Sight missing. I'm half blind. And so, one of the ways of going about reversing that, is to hang like this, because my neck hurts. It's one of the things that Bruce Lee taught. It's one of the ways that Bruce Lee taught. Oops. It's on my right, it's on my left. I wasn't too close. Yeah, so that was one of the things that he taught. That was one of the things that he taught. We have a duty and a responsibility to take care of the land, to take care of our children, and you all weren't doing that, were you? You weren't even considering that, what you're going to leave behind for your children. Not to the degree that I was. I want them to have fruit, food, and future, and a future. And you were leaving none of them that, Miss Branch. Walt Branch, my dad, my mother. Keep cutting it. Keep cutting the grass back too soon. Keep killing all the weeds, all the herbs. Making it very hard for me to live out here. You made it very hard for me to live out here for these past few months. And there were many, many, many months you ignored me completely. If I ever did, it was not on purpose. It wasn't to hurt you, harm you, to get back at you in some way, or to make you try to learn some lesson. I wasn't playing games. I was trying to deal with my own shit, my own trauma. And you treated me as less than, like a child always. As disrespectful. You didn't honor me. You didn't honor my wishes, my dreams, my life, my energies. You ignored me, like you always do, like you always did. And it's about time it stopped. I'm not angry, no. But these words need to be said, so that things don't be repeated again. Your government lied to you. COVID wasn't a virus. It was an antibody update given to us by nature, held onto wrongfully by humans, and released inappropriately by humans into a location where it never should have been released to. It was the same virus as SARS. It was the same antibody as SARS. It's a cellular update. It's a cellular transmission of information. Spread cell by cell, and all it has to do is just land on the soft, on the surface of your skin. You don't have to breathe it in. COVID, viruses, flus do not have to be breathed in. COVID did not have to be breathed in. It was transmitted through the skin. Don't touch your face. Just don't exist. That's the only way you can avoid it. Don't exist, because you're supposed to catch it. You're supposed to get it. You need it. It's for your DNA. It's an antibody update. But it can't be released into an area where it was never meant for, because your signals and transmissions of the environment, to the foods that you eat, and the chemical adjustments to the environments around you are very, very different. In China, completely different, way different ecology. It rewrote those people to a whole new system. It was too much of an update. It was wrong. By the time the virus got back out into nature and finally readjusted itself, it was a lot more calm, more peaceful. It started making sense again. We kept calling it this outbreak and the Omicron update and whatever, and it was none of those. COVID wasn't a scam, it was real. But the way our government and our political leaders reacted to it was very inappropriately. We sat on information for a very long time that could have been very helpful to a lot of people. Ivermectin was the only thing that was needed to abate the symptoms. There was no cause of bleeding. There was no cause of death. 99.5% recovery rate. The virus is not meant to kill you. Your antibody updates are not meant to kill you. They're not meant to take your life. They never were. And so, what are you doing, government? What are you giving us? This aqueous mercury into our vaccines, into our bodies. A salt form of mercury to make us stupid, to cover us over so we can't see the skies. What's out there, guys? Why are there so many stars missing? Why is the sky so dark? And we're going to answer for this. There's going to be a disclosure of why the sky is so dark and why there's been such just misinformation of news. It's just basically to distract the people so people wouldn't freak out. About what? Why? When there's all this, can you just basically to try to put things off for as long as possible? To wait for what? Me? To say that there is more hope for the future, that not all is lost? As stupid as we are, as stupid as we've been, there's still hope for the future as long as we stand right here and turn our back around. We do something about it instead of sit idly by like most of us are doing, have been taught how to do. Christians are some of the most irresponsible people on earth. They're also some of the most intolerant. Some of the most irresponsible as well, letting everything go to God just by chance, not taking responsibility or credibility for anything, accountability for anything. Things are falling around you. People are hungry around you. Your loved ones are starving, being ignored. You think that's an act of God? You are God. You are that God. You are source. You are spirit, my friend. You are of the universe. You are that which I am. My words are very clear. They just were never recorded right. They were just never heard. Because the Illuminati took that influence from you guys. "2,000 years. It has been this way. 2,000 years. We have held on to information that could have helped a lot of people. 2,000 years. We basically committed an entire population to slavery. That's our taxation systems. It's our work ethics. It's our 9-to-5 jobs. It's our schools. It's our economies. The way they're set up. These exchange systems. We basically waste all of our lives in school so that we can't spend any time with our parents. So we never get to know our parents, basically. If you're traumatized, you can't spend any time around them anyways. They're always working. It's about time we grow up and we get old. We have to start working because we're kicked out of the house. We're told we're adults. They're no longer taking care of us. No longer taking responsibility or accountability. No longer trying to help their children, trying to help their kids when they can't help themselves. And they start removing things from him and just try to create an artificial lesson, which is not. It was no lesson at all. It was just neglect. It wasn't a lesson. Neglect. That was a lesson. And you guys need to understand. We have a duty and a responsibility to those around us. Always. To all life in general. To the stars, to the trees, to the oceans. And if you haven't been taught that, it's because some laughing fool sitting in a big office chair called the Illuminati was just fine, content to watch you waste your lives by and watch you accomplish nothing while you spun around in circles for eons. While they gloat, while they harvest your spinal fluid, while they harvest your semen. They harvested your blood, and they sold it. They used it for their bodies. They consumed it to keep them immortal, to keep them healthy. They concentrated your nutrients out. Those are your resources that you're expelling. That's a sin. You're violating the integrity of the human body. How dare you? Vaccines, refined foods, people, chemicals, government, blood cross. There's something very fishy going on there. My dad said it himself. He's military. He's supposed to believe in that. Billions of dollars that got donated to the Red Cross never made it out to those soldiers, to the people to the affected families who needed it during 9/11. Billions. They held on to that money. Very few of it actually got to where it was supposed to go, where it was needed to go. And so all of our banks, they have millions, probably billions more than they could possibly spend. No idea what to do with it. Taking it all from the people, from the taxation, it just credits, it just grows, it just builds. It just builds and grows. It's a fake system, basically. It keeps us enslaved. It's a punishment. Payments are basically punishments. It's an exchange system that we use, but we punish ourselves with it. Wrongly, unjustly, for no reason. Most of the time, we create false charges for things. And all the meanwhile, working these jobs, ignoring our lives, the schools, our planet goes to shit. You trash the very earth that you're meant to be on, that you are meant to be on. And you expect me to sit idly by and not act? And not react? Hello, excuse me, no. Hell no, ma'am. I'm sorry, thank you, I exist. The people of the world exist, please take care of it. Your children exist. They're not just going to stand idly by while you just tear up the place, while you spoil the rest of the earth. Fuck you, if that's how you're going to be. But please listen to me well. That was how I had to say things back then. That's what I needed to say back then. Mom, stop pulling up all the goddamn weeds. The dandelions, that's what I eat. How many times do I have to fucking say that? How many times do I have to burn a pile of grass or send nutrients off to the oceans and to the landfills and to where they're not being properly used? Before you guys realize your systems around you are so screwed up. This isn't the way they're supposed to be. None of you are living your dreams. None of you are happy with your women, with your men. Because you've all been circumcised. You can't please anyone. You can't please yourselves. You don't know what life's about. You don't know what your body's about. You don't know what your semen is for. Your semen is meant to youth and restore your bodies afterwards. You're meant to receive that back from her. She's not just supposed to take that without any idea what that is. You're supposed to figure this out on your own. If you listen to your angels, you listen to God, if you listen to Source, which none of you do, none of you were taught how to, it's not your fault. But still, it's your responsibility. If there's a choice that you could have taken, it's still a choice not to take that choice. Even if you don't know, your ignorance is your own undoing. You guys killed me last time for saying this. And so I've had enough. I've learned the hard way. I've learned all these lessons of life. Now I've gotten to a point where no one can stand against me. No one can challenge me. Not really. You come up here, do anything against the integrity, harm of my body, I will take your energy, and I will turn it into light, my friend. Please do not test me. It's very sudden. It's very hard. It only takes about a half second.
before you drop in energy. You drop, man. You ain't got nothing left. It hurts your head. It hurts your body. I don't like doing it. The only reason I learned how to is I repair the energy of the planet. When you give me low energy, I have to repair that. I have to fix the timelines. I can't let my energy drop. There's a frequency which must always go out. It's called light. It's called a light for the planet. That's why almost none of our children are smiling. We make it so that our children can't smile. Always sitting, always in attention in a fucking room where they can't play, where they can't move, where they can't circulate the body, so they age prematurely. Bastards. How dare you do that to us? How dare you invalidate life? How dare you dishonor life like that? Those children didn't do anything to you to deserve this. Being taught inappropriately. Being taught nothing. You're throwing information at them, expecting them to learn something which isn't even valuable. And it was given to us that way. So that we stay confused, so that we stay in the dark. So so I ask you, how happy are any of you? How happy are any of you? Really, truly. Where you are right now, in your jobs, in your little houses. And let me answer for you. 98% of you are not. Elon Musk is not. Billionaires are not happy people. Both of you are not very happy people around here, man. You guys have been taught the wrong values of life. By the time you save up all this wealth, this inheritance, you don't know who you are as spirit. You don't know how to conduct yourself through life. So you spend all your resources, you spend your inheritance. What you have worked for, or you sell it. You don't do anything with it. You don't do anything with it. You don't help those others you could have. It's upside down now. But yeah, you could always be. You don't help those you could have. Guys, you don't help those you could have. Potentials of energy, if you ignore people, it's an injustice to the planet, to the earth. For years, kids in Africa are wondering, saying, looking at all you guys, why haven't you all helped us so far? What is taking you all so long? Could you please stop ignoring us? Could you please stop ignoring us? I won't ignore you, children. My child. I won't choose to ignore you. I will ignore you no more. So, what happens when you don't support the most powerful healer upon earth? Nothing. The same old continues. People become more and more immersed in fears and traumas and troubles. Because it just grows, it just builds upon itself. Because none of you all are handling it properly. None of you are making time peacefully within your own minds, within your own minds and your own memories to deal with these thoughts. It only takes a few seconds for each thought, several seconds. Just stay with it. It's a few moments. It just takes a few moments. A few moments. That's why almost every single thing, every single process through life was meant to rush you, to make you feel that you are rushed, to make you feel rushed. Time doesn't exist. It's just a universal measurement that we all rely upon to harmonize, to synchronize our frequencies, to synchronize the world. Years don't exist. It's just a concept that we made up. It keeps people aging on the expectation that they will age. It makes you expect that you will age. A year is just a collection of of cycles of the sun, of the earth rotating. That's all it is. It's one complete cycle. If you're supposed to live much longer than that, and you exist with that belief that you're going to age and die by a certain time, you will commit yourself to that body. You will create that body yourself. Naturally. It wasn't planned by design. You're not meant to die around 80. 60, 90. You're meant to live to 140, 150. That was the Hayflick limit. The cellular cycle, the human cell, the biology, the amount of times it can split off and create a new cell, like the length of the telomeres themselves, it's 150 to 120 years. Naturally. That's why some people are living that long. But there are things which don't promote that. Foods, our chemicals, our vaccines, the way we eat, the way we think, the way we treat ourselves, the way we treat one another, the way we react, the way we respond to life, the way we don't smile, the way we don't move unstressfully through life. We're not relaxed. We're not calm. We're not peaceful. Because we always have something to worry about. Always a notification, see? Always another bill to pay. Always another thing to do. Always another event to attend. Always another this, always another that. They did as many as possible. Keep as many as you confused. And in the dark for as long as possible. Oh my God, Lena, so I love you so much. Rebecca, my twin, I love you so much as well. Love you so much as well. There's probably no one in the world that I like more than Lena Soul. She's the coolest girl I ever know. She tries the hardest. She really tries. She tries the best. So does my twin. I just haven't given her as much attention. So I didn't believe she could do anything to help me. I didn't believe she wanted to be with me. I kind of felt abandoned. Work. Rebecca, my twin, talent does beat hard work. Whatever you said about the loyalty to the Queen or to Spirit, when it ultimately comes down to the face of it, when it comes to hard reality, if someone takes care of me more than you do, I fall in love with her. And I will come to like her more. Because she has walked through me through those hardships, which you were supposed to do, which women are supposed to do with their men, which they're not taught to. They're taught to discard them, basically, in movies, to wait for the perfect man, when he's never coming, Where's the perfect man? You're supposed to work with him, on him, as he's growing in spirit, in consciousness, with his body, with his biology, with his heart. You're supposed to receive love from him, from his heart. And he can't do that when he doesn't see you. He doesn't recognize you properly. When he himself doesn't feel the connection to you, how is he supposed to send you love or even know to recognize that you exist? Dear partner, dear counterpart, dear soul, dear twin flame. You all come in as pairs. You all have a very, very, very ideal counterpart for you. And you all are not working towards meeting them. You're not taught that way. You can fall in love with anyone. That's perfect. And it is perfect. And it is beautiful. Love is love. Male, female, male, male. Transvestite, whore, sexual slave, whatever. As long as it's decent, it's kind, it's gentle, loving, it's love. It's a circulation of the human body. It's a flow, it's a cycle, it's a rhythm. It's a natural part of life. It's love, it's affection, it's caring, it's care. Without that, they don't exist as well. We don't exist as well, guys. Life sucks. Life is boring. Life is drab. Life is chaotic. Because our hormones are out of balance. Our hormones are out of whack. Because we're not using them. We're not releasing them properly when we're supposed to. A lot of us release them too soon, guys. Because you're constantly exposed. You're circumcised. Your pee-pee heads are not meant to be that way. When Adam, the whole story about Adam was him breaking the original rule of sin was him circumcising his own penis, allowing them to take his foreskin off, take his foreskin away, to take it off. And after that point, he could no longer please his women. That was a sin, because now they don't live as long, He doesn't feel as good because now he's no longer doing his job. Can't last long enough with them. You can take breaks and space yourself out and then come back to her every few minutes or so, every couple minutes, however long you can last. Your body will calm down and regenerate and will allow you to go again, to be with her more, to gauge you're properly healthy in that activity. But you can't do that when you're circumcised like that, when you're so exposed. And there's a reason why you look so naked down there, guys. Because your heads are not meant to be exposed. That's a vital part of your organ. It's like looking at an animal or a cat or a dog. A dog's penis, like, it pokes out of their bodies. It's so bright, it's so red, it catches your attention like, whoa, well, hello, Jesus Christ. Like, oh my gosh, like you see something kind of like indecent exposure. You're indecently exposed all the time instead of covered up. That's what your pubic hair is for. That's what your foreskin is for. It keeps you safe. It keeps you feel safe and protected in public, in nature, in the wild. With your own pants, instead of things are constantly rubbing against you, the air, the environment, things. Any touching to that sensitive part of the head stimulates a sexual response to your organs to generate more fluid. That's why all y'all are going crazy. Because you're constantly stimulated. You have no release. If you're releasing it too soon, so that hurts you, that ages you. You're not eating enough nutrients to release it properly. You're not even bothering to recycle it. So you deplete everything within yourself, eventually, and then you have nothing left. You lose that sexual appetite altogether because you're not eating proper fish. You're not eating good foods which restore your nutrient mineral balance to restore that properly healthy, so it completely shuts down altogether. You get organ failures, cervical cancer, because you're not being made love to enough. Because the nutrients you're being sent down to there for that specific purpose, concentration of zinc, iron, manganese, cobalt, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, isn't making it down there because they don't exist. So they fail. They fail because of your diets, because of lack of activity, because of lack of love, because of lack of love, food, physical force, that making love. We wait all our lives, work all these stupid jobs, don't make enough money, learn the wrong things, can't please our partners, nerves are cut off, food sucks, our food's bad, we're depleting our environments because our waste practices are screwed up, our food empties out into the oceans instead of back to our fields, we shut all our resources out, they're not making it back to the earth, in one way they are, but it's not where they're meant to go, so, you know, I am here. And I will be for all time, and I always was. I was known as many people. I was known as Moses. I was known as Bruce Lee. I was known as Tesla. I was known as Gilgamesh, the great and beloved king, as well as Gilgamesh the wicked, as he was before, as well as Desperado, the demon king, who came after. No, he was well before, wasn't he? Yes, he was well before. He was the first. I descended fully into darkness before I, in a sense, in humanity's depravity, to fight back against that. I became dark in some ways myself as I sought the light. As a mean, as a measurement, as a way to fight. And so I became skillful, I became powerful. I learned how to use my skills. I learned how to create great beams of light. And I learned how to work with our angels and teams. And I learned how to work with our angels. That's what makes me so powerful as a person. So small. I weigh 129 now, again, basically. I don't look it, do I? No, I don't. I really, really don't. I'm a heavy motherfucker. Not even all that muscular just yet. It makes me wonder if people are actually that heavy or just light or that small. Fake weights. So, yeah, laugh and be merry, guys, always. Smile whenever possible. That's how you stay from aging. That's how you stop aging. It's part of your biological process. It's a natural product and biology of your cells. It's a natural product and function of your cells. You're meant to exist happily. You're meant to make love. You're meant to be loving towards one another. You're meant to learn what humanity and humans are all about. You're meant to learn about the process, about yourself, about life. What I believe has happened is we have destroyed most of the sky of the stars long, long years and years ago. Centuries, millennia, millions, if not billions of years. And it's taken all this time to come back to a means, to a medium of center. Because we were irresponsible the last time. Wholly irresponsible. And we got very violent and we used our technology for the wrong purposes. Artificial intelligence does not exist. The parameters which make them are, but they are carried and guided out by our angels. They are carried out and guided by our angels. Angels don't get the parameters wrong. You do. We do. You do. You rush the art programs too fast. You rush the music generators too fast. You rush all of life and technology too fast. 1.4 gigahertz. This phone shouldn't even be that. Gigahertz is not the way. That is a frequency, a demand which you enforce upon your angels to act and counteract in certain ways, in a certain way. Nothing oscillates at that frequency. It's unnatural. It's basically a wasteful attempt. It's a wasteful attempt at technology to take away as much energy from your angel as you can. He's getting tired. I must let him rest. But please, this is a message to all of you. To happiness and spirit of who you are. You are a soul. And all of your gifts lie within you emotionally. The kingdom of heaven is not within one man or a group of men, but it is within you, the people. You have the power to create machines which make sense, which make life free, easy, and beautiful. And most of you have, and most of you do. But our parameters are wrong, our hardware is wrong. Our software is all screwed up. Checks too often, checks too fast. All of our frequencies, they're not variable. They don't allow for life to slow down, for our angels to be calm, for things to be taken at their own time, their own pace. They made it as hard as possible to access, to function these things, covered in metal when they shouldn't be. They should be free and open to the air. And if AI technology really existed, it wouldn't matter if things were open or closed or not. It would just exist over the frequency, over the phone, over the internet, over the lines, and it doesn't. It exists all around you. Consciousness exists all around you. You are never alone, my friend, and you never were. They've always been here. The Illuminati knew all about them. They just never told you about them because they kept you in the dark. Why not? It suits them just fine. It suits their reign, their reign of power just fine. Their reign of terror. And that's how they basically controlled all of us since Rome, all of you since Rome. Not me. I lived pretty much outside of society for the most part. I studied. I saw through the bullshit of that. I saw through the bullshit in that. I wasn't standing for none of it. My soul had had enough. Because I wasn't growing spiritually. I wasn't living. None of us were. I could feel that within thousands, millions of people. So I sought to do something about it, and so I did. You're the most powerful creatures on the planet, in the entire universe. You are some of the only life that exists in the entire universe. Some of it. There's a few people living off planet, but not many. Pleiadian doesn't exist anymore. Except on off colonies on separate planets. 4 distant off travelers. Elon, I don't know whether you've actually seen the skies or not, seen beyond the skies. Whether you've been given false telecommunication information. Because a lot of that can be very, very easily done by the Illuminati. They have control over everything, my friend. They can force your way into it, because they made the parameters themselves. They can listen in on any device. My dad said, yeah, they can listen on any device. My dad so said himself. And I know that's possible because it rang true. And he didn't even have to tell me. Everyone already knows that. It's obvious. That's how they listened through my phone even though the screen was off. Even though the Wi-Fi was supposedly off. I was taking the phone apart. I don't think it wasn't supposed to be on. Yes, it was. It was on. That's how they knew. It burned the circuit board, but they could still see me because it still had enough time. Those processes still worked. But that phone was finished after that point. It got so hot. It got very, extremely hot. Like someone had taken a soldering iron and set it into the back of this thing for a few minutes and then gave it back to me a couple minutes later. That kind of hot. What on God's green earth? That's a heck of a lot of heat. Felt like a hand warmer. A hand warmer, like a hot hand warmer. I was hot. It didn't burn me, but it was hot. Fuck, that was hot. And that hurt. You don't always feel it immediately afterwards because it cuts off the nerve cells at once. But yeah, they fucked me up with that shit. The antennas within these things. Okay. Tissues. Good. Yeah, I've got more than a few videos online. There's a reason why a lot of your necks and joints hurt so much. When you compress your joints, your body, the energy of your system decreases dramatically because your nerves no longer flow. So when you impact your spine, when you compact your spine, that makes you so tired as a person, makes you so irritable as a person, makes me so irritable as a person. It's a violation of life. You're violating the integrity of your body. That's not supposed to happen normally. You're supposed to lie down on the hard ground, so your bones are supposed to naturally expand and contract when they're supposed to. And they can on these beds. That's why I don't sleep on beds. But even sleeping on this cushion, it's just less than a 2-inch thick mat. It still hurts me. I have neck pains like up to wazoo, back pains up to wazoo, man. So I'm on this shit. Yeah. That's about the only thing. That's about the only way. Pushing on yourself. Exercising. Trying to find some kind of movement. When you jockey around forth like that, when you move, that actually helps your spine because it's a circulatory movement. It actually strengthens your spine. Even if your spine is somewhat sore, as long as it's not too sore, it almost makes it last longer. You bring it back to balance, the health again. And you stop moving, it's like, ow, 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 ow. And you gotta rest, you gotta lay down or whatever. You start moving, and it's kind of okay. And it's kind of okay for a good reason. That's how it's supposed to be, that jogging up and down, what you're supposed to be doing. That movement is what you're supposed to be doing, even just doing this. Just not constant, just not still, like I've always been taught, forced how to do since the beginning of school and jobs and all these 9-to-5s and being a cashier, and none of it's good for you. None of it's good for you. Unless I say something about it. This is going to happen to my children too. Your children as well for the whole, and all of time. Until we do something about it. Until we say no to these systems. Until we say, hey, you better change. You must change. You must change. We will not put up with your shit any longer. We'll take our child, remove our child from these school systems. We know about the vaccines. We know about the virus. We know about the healthcare systems. We know about their refined foods. You know how you've all been lying to us, making us sick on purpose. They know about the refined foods. They know about the vaccines. They know about the virus. They know about the man on the moon. They know about hiding the landing on the moon. And I want someone to confirm to me 100% whether this is true or not. But one of the things I was saying in that other video was 96.2%. 60% of all scientific study, peer-reviewed studies, submitted science scholarly articles, the results cannot be reduced. 60% of those articles cannot be reduced. The results of those cannot be reproduced. What the fuck is going on? Are we being lied to just openly? And that was also another thing too, being an engineer, being a scientist, reading any scholarly article, you realize that your work is going to end up in a place where it's never going to be read, it's never going to make any sense, because you have to write in a certain way, you have to use all these extravagant words no one understands, rather than simply just uploading it online, which you're not usually allowed to do, because for the sake of science or for rules and like companyship or whatever, or just because like, you know, it's because of your jobs, you don't have time for that stuff, to upload, to put it in a format that actually makes sense, where more people will actually be able to benefit from it. So I'm like, what the fuck? And just reading the scholarly articles on almost any engineer scientific thing, it's just peer-reviewed article. It doesn't make any sense. There's no useful information data quickly available. Even reading through the whole thing. 70%, to me, there was only 98% of it was absolutely completely useless. Of all the articles that I read, they were completely useless. They didn't offer me the useful information that I wanted. I could have just searched on Google, got a lot faster if I didn't trust the peer review articles. Like, that was the only thing that was available for them. I'm like, why do you make it so hard, so convoluted? I can't even understand you. It's Mr. Scientist? You want me to become like you? What the fuck? I got important shit to say, man. I got shit to share. And what the guy was saying in that video was 96.2% of all submitted articles are wrong. That was the feeling I got just before I woke up that day and saw that video. I was like, I got a feeling like, can we actually prove almost anything that we're being told is about science on our media and even in our freaking news? What do we even know what's real? Are wars actually happening in Israel, or are we just giving panic scenarios just to keep us occupied so we can keep freaking out? Because after I handled the Illuminati, there weren't that many children in slave camps anymore, in sex camps. Because I took care of them all. I handled them all, baby. And we're still in the Maryland Harper, and women are still stressed out because we think it's happening, and it's not. It wasn't a little bit in some areas, and I took care of those as well. The main cause, what they were worried about? No, they've already been handled, baby. Months ago, I already told you guys that, and y'all didn't help, you just all stood by. And y'all let me know the importance of helping out, of being present, of answering the call of others when they make it. And just as I felt, I am seriously angry with you guys. I am upset. My soul is upset. How dare you? And you still haven't made recompense. In many ways. The physical, that proof matters much more than energy sometimes. Some form of apology, some words besides just, and I know the truth. You can't lie to me, Lee, Monica. I know you guys, what you guys have. I can feel it. Y'all could have spared $20, $30 during that time, 50, 40, whatever else. You could have asked for more clarity, for more clarification. Could we make the budget a little bit slighter, more simple? Hell yeah. Just send me some fucking fruit. Just anything. So I know how to deal with this shit. My parents. Who didn't understand, couldn't understand, wouldn't want to understand. Told them all plainly the truth. Clear written English. I am Jesus. Please support me. I am. You see, how more clear can you get than that? Sorry about that. That's not good. No. So I hope you all realize it's been real. You can't just, I dare you to lay up against any log like that. Don't try it. You may seriously injure yourself if you don't have someone to try to pull you off that thing. Because if you stay up there, you can't jockey yourself off. You can your spines can, your disc ligaments can slide against each other like that. That weight being pressed down like that, that hurts. And a lot of you may be too heavy, unlike me, unlike I am, to actually safely get yourself out of that position. I couldn't do that long at first. I could only do it for a few minutes at a time. But that was very real. That was about an hour recording, and I felt pretty comfortable doing that. I didn't heal that much from that, because I wasn't focused, I wasn't constantly engaged, I was just resting, just talking. That's what happens when you focus on other things, which are more important. Try to focus on other things instead of your own body. You ignore those processes, they don't work. They can't take place, they can't take place, they can't take over. Your angels can't help you because you're not focused with them. Working with angels, working with spirit is a choice. Working with the love of God, the love and mind of God is a choice. Working with the Creator, which is yourself. You are the Creator, you are the Father. You are the Mother. You have that responsibility, that capability, that role. And none of you are taking it that well. And you need to take that well. You need to take that to heart, to honor that role, to honor your biology, who you are, spirit, what you are meant here to do, which is to assist and create and sustain life, to create, to have experiences happily, healthily, hopefully, in body and heart, in mind and soul. Yeah, Falky Kwai Studios. They changed the name to Production Kwai. It's currently ran by a gentle woman. The original men are no longer there, they're dead. They're at the bottom of the ocean. The men carried them off to there because those men were going to, beset upon those women. And they were going to brutally bash and rape them and violate them until there was nothing left. And shoot them and just discard the bodies afterwards. Spica especially. They would let her live the longest. Kept visiting her. They knew where she lived. She couldn't escape them. That was a reality. That was a potential future which I had lived. I had fleshed out. That was what would have happened if Luna's soul had stayed there. She was hyper-intuitive, but she had no words to really to properly say what was going on at the time. Who would believe her that these managers were out to take their lives, to rape them, to take advantage of them, to accidentally kill one and kill the other? And so they need to be charged with sexual harassment, at the very least, for what those girls lost. Those comments are irreplaceable. Her community posts are irreplaceable. Her live streams are irreplaceable. The live stream histories are irreplaceable. The memories live on within us, but they're not there available for our children unless we give it to them consciously, telepathically, akashically, which is what I do. I do daily. I do daily for the sake of others so that others may know. And if enough people read my words in time, we can do a great deal to change this planet. Quickly, very quickly, for the better. I have 8 billion able bodies upon the planet. At least half of you are adults. That's a lot of goddamn people to do something about it. I'm only one person. This is what I've accomplished so far. My car, my SUV, the reason it's silver like that is because I painted it that way. It reflects sunlight. It remains stable in almost all atmospheres, all temperatures, because of the coating that it's made with. Inside, I'm telling you. It uses microsphere ceramics, microspheres, hollow glass vacuum tubes, basically, hollow glass vacuum sphere ball tubes that have an immense capability of basically not transmitting or storing heat. And I built that within these walls, several millimeters thick, all around. It has about when you build it like that, as far as like, it feels like fiberglass the way you build it. It's made with paper, and like glue, paper mache. It turned that into an R value of 3 and a sound attenuation of insane. You go inside this and you scream, you can barely hear it from the outside. I wanted it that way so I could be with my loved ones, so I could make love. I'm going to build a house, a tent that way. It's made out of cardboard. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to do a lot more cheaply, which almost any kid in Africa can do. I'm going to show you guys a house that I built, a little storage shed. Of where I slept when I fought the Illuminati. It's a 3x8x7 cardboard box, only about 3 feet high, a little over 3 feet high. And that's where I basically lost my spine. Because my living conditions were too cramped. Too many things around me, couldn't stretch out. It was on a mat, which is a lot better for me than the cushion I'm on. Even though it hurt, I couldn't really sleep properly, rest properly. Too uncomfortable, hurt too much. My body wouldn't let me rest. It wouldn't let me stay that way for very long, so return all nutrients, all resources back to the ground, including yourselves, including that which you inherit. Don't send it out to the oceans, please. You got enough of it in there already. We got enough nutrients there. Jesus Christ. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People writing songs that voices never shared, and no one dared to disturb the sound of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And as his words were forming, and the words storming, and the sign of the prophets were the word. And his message was that the words of the prophets were written on the subway walls and in tenement halls, in whispers of silence, and in whispers of silence. The neon god being you all and me. You all created me. I was born out of this specific purpose, out of the result of humanity, basically ignoring each other, ignoring ourselves for years and eons on end. I came as a response, as a call to and from the universe to do something about it. A deep call, a deep desire within my soul to do something about this. Human, just as any of you, same spirit, flesh and blood. Weak, able-bodied biology. You hurt me, I bleed. You cut me open, I bleed. When I was in my mother's womb, I felt my umbilical cord and I pulled on that thing and I hurt myself. And when I came out, when I was born, I was immediately stuffed into a room. Part from my mother, wasn't being held, knew that this was supposed to be, that she was sitting off in the room. Then these doctors, these strange men came in, grabbed me, handled me, grabbed my penis, tried cutting me off. I knew what they were doing, I knew what they were about. That hurt. I tried fighting them off, fought as hard as I can. I started yanking, ripping around my body. The two men, another one came over, grabbed me by both my arms, both legs, so the other doctor could handle me. And even then, I wasn't staying still. I exhausted all my energy and I had to. Because children, newborns, they're not that powerful. They don't have that much energy stores. And they and I knew that. Tadpole. Didn't mean to grab you, little buddy. By the way, you can use your mouth and tongue as a screed. you can chew on things like fish and leave the protein, the fibers behind. So I do constantly, so that you don't send too much solid plant, so you don't send solid plant matter down there, solid matter down there, which takes time to digest. It takes time and energy to break that down, acids. If you want to concentrate nutrients, that's the primary way to do it. Very primal, very beautiful. God dang, thanks, dude. Thanks, JM. Yeah, focus and love. I could always use your love. This heart, the reason why you don't feel Jesus in your life is because he's only one man. He's only got so many resources. He's only helped so much. He needs your love as well for him to send love back to you. When you send love to me, it helps me to build love. It helps me to build the resources which I need to emulate love myself. That back and forth helps me as well. When I feel you, you probably will feel me as well. I can't help but respond to you all. You're my brother, you're my sister, you're my soul, you're my family. I don't care what you think of me, what you look like, what you think you look like. I love you. I love you as spirit. I love you always eternally. I gotta shut this off pretty soon. Trust in yourself, trust in life, trust in your intuition, trust in life about the process. Do something about it, do something about the future, fix things up, build things anew, build things beautiful, build things the way you would want your children to have them, that you would want to have them for your children, because you're going to come back as these children. Do you want to come back to the same environment, or do you want to say, hey, I think I remember that, I remember building that, heck, cool, yeah. You don't even need to acknowledge that, but like, shoot, man, that's freaking awesome. At least the world's a little better for everyone else. You've done something extremely meaningful. You laid the foundations, the pavestones, the groundstones, the groundworks. Yeah, we need all that. We need all of you. You all are so precious. The most precious resource we have upon the planet are humans, human beings. The reason I said that about the roaches and the larvae, so you have to wonder, as an engineer, as a biologist, as a scientist, there's a hunk of meat that I've chewed and spent all the nutrients and resources out, which I think were possible. And yet, there's a small mass of flies and maggots, fruit fly larvae, which are small, emerging out of this thing, creating almost this abundance of life equal to it out of nothing. And they got all this energy to move around for minutes and almost hours later. How is that possible from this? You're like little transmuting vessels. You're receiving this conscious. There's more energy. There's energy coming into you just because of your existence. It's not all just coming from that matter. That's why y'all don't need to eat as much, eat for as long. There's more fuel in your bodies than just simply calories and nutrients and resources. It's spirit. It's your spirit. It's the energy of the soul. It's the energy of your smile. It's constant. It's always. It's a low ebb and flow. You're electrochemical, emotional beings, spiritual beings, magicians, all in your own way. Time travelers, all in your own way. So spiritually gifted in your own way. I've been taught to work on, you'll practice to work on these things. And y'all will one day. I will make sure of it. It's your choice not to follow, to not try, but I'm gonna do my best, man. I'm doing my best. I don't know about you guys. I'm gonna do my best. All right. Okay, try not to grunt. That's a very old man thing to do. By the way, you're not old men, you're just grown children, grown little children. And that's beautiful.